Hi, this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and today I want to show you how I made some of these specimen slides and envelope, and these two little specimen, well, they're all specimen slides and things like that. So right here you have this cute little, it's like a dangle that I added eyelet and just different little embellishments and things like that. I embossed the little, what do you call it, screws that are in here. And so we have tabs, two different style tabs. One is the whale tail, and then the other one is this style. And I've used various kits. I used the Cobbicons and the Vintage Specimen Slide and the Age Textured page. And I'll have a link in the description for the digitals that I used in here. So, and some of them are, most of them are freebies. The specimen slides, these are the freebies, but this background page is the aged textures. But it's either $1 or $2. I can't even remember. But yeah, I printed this out on vellum and just added these little decorations. And then you have the individual slides. And each one of them I stitched around and I printed it out on vellum and on cardstock, and I'll show you the process video in a little bit. And then each one of them has an eyelet and a jump ring, so that you can add these to other embellishments and things of that nature. And I made some, I made 3 on the left and then 3 with them on the right, so they move around. You can put them on different ends of your journals and whatnot. So, all right, so let me go ahead and show you the process video. Okay, so the kit will look like this, and you'll get your slides, some tabs, and you'll get some ephemera and some more ephemera. So you get your 3-page ephemera sheets. So you're just going to go ahead and cut these out. Okay, so what I did with this one is I'm going to keep it as a frame. So basically I'm just going to cut around the ephemera. And let me try to get it straight as possible. So I'm just going to line it up. And you can fussy cut it, but I'm just going to take the paper trimmer and I'm going to cut up to where the edge of some of this ephemera is. And I'm just going to, I'm going to keep the remaining part of the page as a frame, because I love that brown rustic color. And this part right here, the paper trimmer, lines up with like the line of right here. So you can kind of know where to stop cutting it at. That's how I know like where to line my part of the paper trimmer at without cutting into the ephemera, and also without messing up the frame. So I'm just going to start about like right here and just cut going straight down. If I mess it up, it'll be okay, because I can always print another one if I had to, you know, but hopefully I'm not going to mess it up. I'm going to start around here and then work my way here. So now I should be able to take this out. And if you didn't go all the way up to the edge, that's fine. You can just take your scissors and then just kind of, you could kind of round it off if you wanted to, or you could just leave it square. And I'm kind of round it a little bit. That way the frame is rounded on the inside. All right, and then you could just cut your individual images out, and then you've got like a little frame. And I'm just going to attach this frame to some vellum. And another option that you could have is you could print this same page out in vellum and you could cut around this edge right here and then just attach these frames to the vellum, and the same images will appear on there, if you know what I mean. So basically, just if you wanted to take a knife, if you have some small scissors, you could do that, but I'm just going to actually, yeah, or you could use your paper trimmer. You can just take your ruler and cut along the edges. Okay, so I went on ahead and just stressed around the edges of each one of these, and then now I'm just gluing each one of these frames onto the vellum, like so. And then I'll just cut these out. And notice they're a little bit, the frames are a little bit smaller than the printed out vellum backgrounds. So you could set your scale, you can set your printer to scale to print a little bit bigger. So see how it's bigger going around the edges. So, but yeah. And then I'm going to cut those out. And then I just found, I decided, since this is vellum, but I printed like an image. This is the age textured background. This is also on my Ko-fi. And I'm just going to glue this frame onto the vellum. And I'll be cutting it out, and I'm considering running it through an embossing folder. I'm not real sure yet, but I don't know yet. I might just leave well enough alone. We shall see. But in the meantime, I'm just going to line this up where I want it on here. So let's see. I'm just going to try to line it up at the edge where it's straight. Do the same thing here, and I'm just going to take the glue off, the excess glue that's showing up, and I'm going to cut this out, and then I'll probably stitch around the edges. Okay, and I'm going to be rounding off the corners. You don't have to do that, it's an option, but I decided that I wanted to. So now I need something to go on the inside of each one of these. So I'm just going to choose one of these Kabakons. This is the Vintage Bug Kabakon Cuties Printable Insect. This is also on my Ko-fi. This, as well as the aged papers. Yeah, the aged papers. But this one I think is for like $1 or $2, something like that. It's also on my Ko-fi. And so I'm gonna use one of these. I'm just gonna glue where I want this. And I'm going to cut out the shape. Okay, and so now I'm getting ready to cut these out. This little buttons that come with it, and I'm just gluing them in these little corners. So I'm gonna cut them out and glue it, and then I'm going to add some glossy accents to it to make it pop. So instead of using glossy accents, I decided I'm going to I'm just going to use some embossing powder. So basically all I'm doing is I just took a gel pen and I just went around the rivet or the screw, and then just kind of made it more pronounced. And I'm just going to take this emboss it pen and go around it as well. And then I'm just going to add on some clear detail embossing powder and then emboss it. Alright, and so here's what the embossed screws look like. Alright, so now I feel like it just needs just a little bit of something on here. And I'm just going to take, I'm just going to kind of cover this up a little bit. And I'm just going to spray, let me get another piece of scrap paper. I'm just going to kind of spray the center. Let me get something a little bit bigger to cover up that. And this is just some vintage photo distress spray, just to give it that extra little kick, you know, make it look a little more distressed. So I'm just going to wipe some of that off. It's fine. It looks kind of distressed and rugged. Alright, so now we're just going to add on the whale tail. I think I'll do a whale tail tab and then one of these other tabs. But the other kind of tab, the whale tail, you can just fold over like that and glue it. And let me just go ahead and do that now while I'm thinking about it. But the other one, you're going to have to cut. So let me leave this kind of up like that. Make sure it's centered. That's my son in the background. Both of my sons, sorry. Goodness. Okay, and then I'm going to be punching a hole in that and adding the eyelet to it. But on this one right here, we're just going to cut it in the middle. And then we're just going to add it on here. Like so, just glue it. Like that. And then flip it over. And then we're going to add this one there. And then after that, we're going to start idling it up and adding some decorations and things of that nature. So, well, let me make sure this is down good enough. Okay, so I'm going to add the eyelets. So let's go ahead and punch. And you can use different size eyelets. I typically just use the regular, I don't know what it's called. It's the bigger size eyelet. I just don't do too good with the small ones because I'm just not good with it. All right, so we're going to use some black, 2 black eyelets. Are these the same color? Let me make sure I get both of them from out of here. I think there's 2 different, slightly different colors or something. They must have got mixed in here. Okay, these 2 look like they're the same. So we're going to add that in there, and then we're going to decorate. Now some of those other ones, the smaller, some of these right here, I'm going to turn these into little charms, if you know what I mean, and I'll show you in a little bit. We're just going to add this and make sure I get that right. Alright, and so far this is what we have. So we're going to just start adding some words on here. I think that'll look good. Let's see. Just going to glue that on there. And you can just use any of them just to kind of make it look good. You can use words, numbers, little phrases and things. Like this says specimen number. Let's see. This also says specimen. Let me see. Specimen. And just kind of size it up. Just play around with it and put different things on there to your liking. And you can use other things from other kits too. You don't have to just use only stuff from this kit. I think I like that number 4. Should I put it here or right here? I think I'm gonna put it right here. We'll put that there. And I'm just gonna start decorating these. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to turn this into an envelope, a vellum envelope. So I'm just going to fold it up like so, and I'm just going to fold this downward like so. So this is going to be the flap. Make sure I got it even. And I'm just going to glue these sides. I may have to stitch it just to make sure it's going to stay. I think I will just stitch it just to make sure, because I have a feeling that it's not going to stay like I want it to. Okay, so now I'm going to add a piece of Velcro, and then we're just going to decorate it with some scraps and then one of these or some of these embellishments. So I'm just going to put this actually here, close that up, and then I'm just going to put this number 23 over top. And make sure I distress it. And that's going to be our closure. And then we got specimen, and then I'm just going to use some scraps. Like this, and maybe a piece of this. Alright, so let me just distress this and then glue that on, and then we will pretty much be done. We have this cute envelope, vellum envelope. stitch. And then we have our individual little embellishments, specimen embellishments, and then our tabbed specimen cards. So that's what we have. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos, blog, and social media sites. And make sure you go on my Ko-fi where you can find these digitals. And you'll find other freebies and things like that. So once again, thanks for watching and happy crafting.